G'day everyone, it is Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crank.com. So today, tonight, wherever you are in the world, I'm catching up with one of the most talked about new forces ripping through the UK metal scene. I'm joined by guitarist Nathan Stad of Struck a Nerve, a band that has exploded out of Norwich with a debut so ferocious, so uncompromising and unapologetically savage. It is to the self-titled debut Struck a Nerve self-album, drops November 28th via Listenable Records. Is 9 tracks of pure adrenaline, spiked aggression, blending classic thrash roots with modern crossover energy, with a death metal grit to back it up as well. Nathan, cheers for joining me, mate.
Cheers for having me, man. Really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure, man. First off, can I kick things off at the beginning for you? What first drew you into guitar and heavy music?
Oh man, I was a new metal kid. Unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know, I remember it, it would have been around like 98, 99. And I just remember, maybe in a space of like 2 years going from listening to whatever popular new metal there was at the time. I was a huge Limp Bizkit fan in like 99. I
Guilty
left
as
some bad
charged.
stuff, but I don't care, man. But I went from that to, finding sort of more hardcore stuff, getting into Slayer, getting into like just everything. I was one of those lucky people who had, my cousin, one of those stories. My cousin was a huge metalhead, huge punk fan, everything. He played guitar and everything. And yeah, he just kind of used to make me compilations and tapes and all sorts of things. So yeah, I just sort of I couldn't get enough. And then like Slayer was a real, yeah, it was a real eye opener for me. Absolutely loved them, and that just got me into everything. Got me into death metal, got me into Doom, 70s stuff, like everything. Yeah, so like between 98 and 2002, I started playing guitar and just getting heavily into like everything, basically.
Yeah, I think Slayer was kind of that band for me too. I was getting into all those kind of new metal bands as well, and then I went and seen Slayer with Machine Head, and I think it was like '99 or something, dude. And just instantly sold. Like got booed in the face, bleeding in the middle of raining blood, and I'm like, this is so fucking metal. I was just
Yeah, yeah.
gone from that
Yeah, I just
moment.
started going to shows in like the early 2000s. Remember like the big massive Corn show at like Docklands Arena and stuff like that, and just yeah, just I just couldn't get enough. Just an absolute sponge for any and all heavy metal basically at the time.
Yeah, long before Struck a Nerve, though, you were grinding it out in the scene with other projects and with Shrapnel as well, dude. Looking back, what did those early years teach you about songwriting, touring, discipline, and surviving as a working musician?
Yeah, tons. I mean, you learn from all the positives and negatives, right? Shrapnel, we've been around for like a long time now, 15 years, something like that. So we, we got picked up by a fairly big label, sort of straight, almost not straight out of the gate, but like fairly soon. And yeah, the amount you learn about sort of the music business and touring and stuff like that is, yeah, you take the rough with the smooth. But yeah, I think sort of 15 years of experience with dealing with record labels, dealing with like producers, and just knowing how to carry yourself in the industry and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's been really helpful because we had intended for Struck a Nerve to be really DIY. Um, until just out of the blue, we got this we got this listenable thing. But yeah, so it really, those experiences taught me a lot about just how to keep a band going, how to keep it together, how to network and all that kind of stuff. Um, and then yeah, me and Chris, our drummer, we've just been songwriting together for years and years and years. So yeah, it's just something that I've always enjoyed since I first started playing guitar. I never really enjoyed learning guitar as such. I never spent a lot of time learning shreds. Can never learn anyone else's stuff. I don't know any covers, barely. I just like just yeah, straight out of the gate. I just liked songwriting. I liked that me and my mates could meet up and make our own versions of this stuff that we were listening to. So yeah, just had a lot of experience with the shrapnel stuff at this point.
Yeah, well, it has a really great sound. Struck a nerve when I first heard it. Like I just struck it in, got the PR, and I'm like, dude, this is brutal. Then I usually check out the research notes and everything. And you guys are made up of seriously some heavy hitters. I heard of Shrapnel and of course Gamma Bomb and the other bands you guys have been a part of across the UK scene as well. How did this particular combination of musos and friends obviously come together?
So we were. Me and Chris, our drummer Chris, we were in Shrapnel together at one point. He left sort of a couple of years ago. Aaron was as well. He was on one of the Shrapnel records as well. So we've all, yeah, it's all a bit incestuous, really. But yeah, we did a record together. But yeah, Aaron left. Chris was still in it with me. And basically, we were doing this last Shrapnel record, and we'd finished it, long recorded, and it was just taking ages. Basically, again, the experience of dealing with record labels and stuff, and it just the powers that be. It was taking so long to release, like a couple of years. And we just got a bit bored, basically. So me and Chris just started throwing each other some thrash demos just for a bit of a laugh. And then they started kind of getting better and better. Um, and we just randomly bumped into Aaron at a Carcass show in Norwich. And we hadn't seen him for a little while. Sort of, it didn't end badly, but it ended like we weren't really talking to each other and stuff. And we had a couple of bevies and made our apologies to each other, like you do. And then, like, oh, I miss you, man. And then the next day, we woke up and he'd all but joined this new band we were putting together. So it was really nice. And then Lex is just like a friend of friends in the Norwich scene. He joined us to fill in for a couple of shows and ended up never leaving, basically. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
love.
just yeah, we've got a lot of experience together with the shrapnel stuff. But yeah, it just sort of I think Norwich is such a small place, really, that you're bound to be in a band with a couple of your mates at some point.
It's like a microcosm of like a lot of scenes around the place. I know Adelaide's like that. We've got members that have been, especially if you're in a drummer, dude, you're in about 4 or 5 different bands
Yeah.
as well. So everyone knows each other or has been in somebody's band at some point. And that does kind of make for a really tight scene as well.
Yeah, the Norwich scene's amazing actually. I actually live I'm here in Oxford at the minute. I've been away from Norwich for like 6 years, so I have to commute back or whatever to see the lads. But since I've been gone, funnily enough, so it's away, the scene has absolutely exploded back home. It's amazing. There's so many good venues, loads of new bands springing up who are all like really good.
Yeah.
So every time I go back, it blows my mind because I love doing hometown shows now because yeah, you find all these new bands. Like the scene is like it's a young scene as well. So there's like new people coming into it. We just played back home last Thursday, and it was lovely because it was all just fresh faces and just nuts. I was it's just
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I
it's
did
been
look
really,
into a bit of that as well, and it's absolutely exploding with heavy music right now. So many great bands coming out of that area. What do you think's
yeah.
kind of driving this surge of creativity and brutality and heavy metal in the area?
I'm not sure to be honest with you, and it's across the board. We've got like grind bands,
Yeah.
thrash bands, punk bands, like everything. I know obviously we have one of the Metal to the Masses Bloodstock things, and that every year is just, I mean, that's across the country. But the one in Norwich is really, really good. And I think that's probably played a part in bringing more people together. And yeah, I'm not really sure. But whatever it is, it's
It's
awesome to see. So
something in the water, hopefully, or the
yeah,
beer
yeah, yeah.
anyway. What were those first rehearsals like for you guys getting in the studio, man? Did you like kind of when you clicked, did you just go, man, well, this is something we really got to pursue a little bit further than just jamming in the room together?
Yeah, so well, that was kind of the other way around, really. Like
Yep.
we'd started recording stuff. We started sending demos just as a bit of a laugh, like I say, because we were bored, and then that sort of turned into these are pretty good. We should probably look at recording these properly. And yeah, sort of we kind of booked in to record. Aaron came back into the fold, and then I think it was sort of mid to late last year, 2024. We booked a couple of shows, a little UK run with our mates in Solitary from up north. And at that point, it was like, right, we've been writing these songs together. We should really rehearse if we're going to go do some shows. It took us quite a while, obviously, because I live away. It took us quite a while to actually get into a room together. But it was lovely. We hadn't, three of us hadn't played together in like four years, something like that. Um, so yeah, that was really, really nice to get in a room with Aaron again, and we were all just absolutely loving it. And it's just been really, really good fun.
Yep.
We try to keep this kind of ethos of like we're doing as much DIY as we can, and if it's not fun, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
So it's just been a laugh. It's just been a laugh, just like hanging out with mates as much as we have, and yeah, we're just looking to move forward, and we can't wait to sort of see each other and do more stuff.
Exactly. So the writing of the album, tell me a little bit about what it was like for you guys to sit down and write this album. What kind of album were you guys aiming to create? Did you have a clear vision and a mission when you come into this, dude, of what you wanted to create?
Yeah, I think we really have kept it to we wanted everything to be short and sharp and as savage as we can. And I think not having any expectation at the beginning was really helpful. We weren't comparing ourselves to anybody. We weren't trying to sort of tick any boxes or anything. It was just, me and Chris just having a bit of fun. And I think when you're free of like those constraints or like feeling that you have to tick these boxes or whatever. It was just we're just able to write whatever the hell we wanted. And just keeping in mind we just want this to be as aggressive as we can. And that's what came out really. So it was really sort of refreshing. We haven't written music like that without anything else in mind in quite a long while. So yeah, it was quite just a free it's really when we didn't want to sort of push ourselves too much and make like an hour-long record or anything. It really was just just having fun and he's Chris is a really good songwriter on his own. So he's at the stage where he can happily send me an entire song of drums that he's mapped out himself, hum a few ideas and stuff and we've played together for so long now that I think I know what he's expecting from me and vice versa. So yeah, it was just there were no constraints. There was no sort of like I say, box ticking or anything. It was just really nice, just me and my mate writing some savage thrash, basically. So
Savage fucking thrash,
yeah,
dude, and it's got
yeah.
this really great sound. I won't mention the other bands that, but I've got a review team for the webzine. I sent them a couple of clips and yours in there, and it was like, instantly straight yours. I really like that sound of the thrash.
Oh
It
yeah,
has that really great sound that hits that sweet spot between the thrash sound you're going for, hardcore crossover. It's got that death metal grit as well, which I did mention in the intro as well. Did that all kind of come naturally, as we kind of just mentioned then? I suppose it did
yeah. I
because you
think
weren't
so.
ticking any boxes as well.
Yeah, it's very much just an amalgamation of all of our influences. Like me and Aaron especially, we're huge death metal fans. Love all the Swedish stuff, love all the Florida stuff. So I think that's always naturally just going to be in there, especially when you're not trying to not do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sort of, I think with the last Shrapnel record, we were really deliberately trying to write something modern and fresh that we'd never tried before. So you're deliberately not trying to sound like 90s death metal or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, because we were just free of any constraints, it's just an amalgamation of all of our influences. Chris is a massive heavy metal Judas Priest fan, so the drums are very much in that domain. I love my hardcore and crossover, so there's just naturally some of that in there. Yeah, so it's nice. It's just that's 30 minutes of all of our influences sort of smashed together, I think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. No, just some like of the greats like Rain in Death, dude, absolutely killer single as well. Struck a nerve, Parade of Violence, Inside the Torture Fortress. These are the singles you've released so far, each showcasing a different facet of the band, kind of what we were talking about with those different influences. Like, yeah, you go at first face value thrash as fuck, but then you listen to all the different little elements as well. And you were talking about the nod to the Swedish, man. I'm not a musician, I claim to be, but I do my research. Looked into the HM2 distortion pedal and seen what a big influence it was to some of these Swedish death metal bands as
Yeah,
well. So
yeah.
you've managed to bring in all these little things as well.
Yeah, little touches like that. I mean, Aaron especially, like when we were writing music with him before, we were really trying to push him to be a bit more melodic than perhaps he was comfortable with. So on this project, he's just been, this is what I enjoy, this is what I'm good at, and it's much more that sort of savage, borderline death metal sometimes. But yeah, the HM2 was actually our producer Sam. That was his little idea. He
Turbitt.
was like, yeah, we should have a little nod to the Scandinavian scene here, and he just put just a bit under some of the guitars, and it just completely changed the entire feel of the records. Um, yeah, I was really, really happy with that. We spent a lot of time with Sam, really sort of perfecting the mix and yeah, making it sound different to stuff we'd done before and just making it as like hyper savage as we can, basically.
Yeah, Mr. Samuel Turbot at Ritual Studios, and I'm sure it's only his parents call him that whenever he's in trouble. And producer is quickly becoming one of the UK's go-to heavy engineers. What was it like working with him, man?
We love working with Sam.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like having another mate in the band basically. That's I mean he works hard, right? He's we can jump on a call with him basically at any point during the process, and he'll work his butt off. Um, yeah, to make it the best it can be. But yeah, we've worked with him in the past, and we loved it. We had so much fun recording with him previously that we were like, as soon as we started this, it was a no-brainer. Um, Chris, when he's doing his various projects, he always records his drums up north with Sam. So yeah, when you're doing a project with him, he becomes like the fifth member for that sort of 6 months that you're doing that project, and he's just yeah, he's an amazing musician. He's got like an incredible ear for music. So he's able to give advice, and yeah, he's amazing with tones, and he just made, we really spent a lot of care on this one to get the guitars as nasty as we could, which is hard, like trying to balance like clarity and sort of modernity with like old school, gritty, nasty. Yeah, so I think he did an amazing job of sort of pulling those two worlds together, really.
Yeah, amazing production of this album as well, and I think every scene needs a Sam Turbitt as well, someone who's in there able to make and produce. I know we've got one here in Adelaide and a couple all over Australia, so it's really important to have these people behind the
Yeah.
scenes making these albums and giving these guys a mention as well and what they do. And we did mention the guitar tone, which feels absolutely massive, and like all good thrash metal albums, there's also lyrical themes that do tackle violence, anger, historical, political commentary, all kind of tied into the themes as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, me and Aaron were quite nerdy with our history stuff. So I'm here in Oxford doing my PhD at the minute. So I study like Russian foreign policy. So we were thinking sort of, how can we talk about something different that we don't normally in our music? So we're like, let's just pull on all the dorky stuff that we do. So yeah, in my work I study a lot of civil war and political violence stuff. And maybe not the best idea, but yeah, sometimes in my work you kind of come across these anecdotes or whatever where you're like that would make a really good thrash tune. So that always goes over to Aaron's like, mate, check this out, like from this obscure history book from the 50s or whatever. Yeah, and so me and him talk about, history and political violence and how it connects to the world we're living in today sort of quite a lot. It's our main topic of conversation usually. So we're like, right, let's actually use this stuff. Let's talk about this and give these historical examples of extreme violence and how it connects to today. Not the most cheerful stuff, but
Dude, I totally get it because I've seen the little notes of the history and stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, I've got to mention this because like it's a pro I had a girlfriend over and like sitting there and like the other night I put like a French something on the French Revolution and that
yeah,
I
yeah,
sit
yeah,
there and watch documentaries all the time. I
yeah, yeah,
absolutely love it watching it, and there's so many great stories in there as well. It's just
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. The Russian history stuff and like um I'm super interested in the Russian
oh
Revolution as well. So it's just like so much in Russian history that's
yeah.
mad. So it's
Yeah, it's amazing. Check out the world, people. It really is. Do you
yeah.
see Struck a Nerve as kind of, it must be like a cathartic outlet for you, Struck a Nerve as well, kind of coming out of salvage, having a whole bunch of material as well, going, man, this wasn't good for that, but I love to do that. And I dare say you guys would have a whole bunch of fucking material ready to drop with these guys as well with Struck a Nerve.
Yeah, there's I think I mean we've probably got enough for a second album laying around to be honest.
No doubt.
Which we started working on actually just last week. Um but yeah, like I do a lot of writing when we come around to doing the new records, I'll tend to like you get bands who only write for the record, they'll write 10 songs and that's it and they focus on those. I'm kind of the opposite where I'll tend to write like 50 and maybe five will be good. So
Yep.
there's always riffs and there's always ideas laying around. And we just got Google folders full of ideas going back the last few years. Yeah, I don't usually like to look back too much. I always feel like if I finish something, if it's not used, then it probably sucked. So I want to do something new.
Yep.
But yeah, Aaron's really good at going like, no, man, there's some good stuff here. Stop being lazy. Pull it out and fix it. But yeah, we're pretty prolific when we start a project, so we're never short of material.
Yeah, and I've got to mention about the live shows you've been playing, man. I've been looking into some of the reviews and the feedback on Facebook and all that, and they're looking fucking unreal, man. Really intense from what I've seen as well, right out of the gate. And with that thrash energy, it just looks like it'd be a great show fucking to be a part of, yeah.
Yeah, it's been amazing fun. It's we're lucky to start a band at a time when the UK scene is really kicking off again.
Yep.
Obviously, thrash goes through its ups and downs, doesn't it? But yeah, in the last few years, there's just this massive uptick in the amount of young bands coming out. We've got bands like Bloodsaw and Exorcism, yeah, who are sort of bringing people out, and we've got an amazing kind of hardcore thrash scene here with people like Pest Control, Overpower, and then yeah, Black and Thrash is really great over here. Hell Ripper and Devastator. So it's like a really, really healthy scene. So we come into this thing like yeah, a really fortunate time for us. And the UK scene, just every show we seem to play has been yeah, it's just been nuts. We just played this Thrash Chester festival on Saturday up in Manchester, and it was mad. So
I think
it's
the
just
last 5 years has been like a real uptick again in thrash
yeah, yeah,
metal, which has really been good
yeah,
because I know here in Adelaide, speaking of UK thrash bands, we just had Onslaught come through as well. And the thrash scene here is doing on well. We've got bands like Hidden Intent heading over to Europe,
yeah, yeah,
playing shows over there, and it's just really fucking. I love all metal, man, but thrash, like, as we're talking at the roots for us, like new metal and into bands like thrash, so it's really good to see this uptick of thrash. Like bands like Testament just dropped that fucking album and some of the best
yeah,
stuff
man,
they've dropped in ages. So it's
100%.
really, and then guys like yourself coming through with this like debut album. You guys have been ripping with your other bands, but like this just fucking so good to see how strong this thrash metal scene is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we were fortunate to have the sort of late 2000s stuff over here. So obviously, Gamma Bomb,
Yep.
Evil, yeah, Mutant, all that stuff. That scene in the late 2000s was really important for me and my other band. And I'm always a little bit nostalgic about it, to be honest. I loved it. We had these cool festivals up north and stuff, and it was amazing. And it really felt kind of alive and yeah, just an exciting time. And then obviously it sort of went away a little bit, and it's really starting to feel like that's coming back again. Yeah, and it's good to hear it's happening in Australia as well. We're touring with Harlot next year in
Oh,
Europe.
fuck
Yeah,
yeah,
so
dude.
they're coming over, and I can't wait. And we're really eager to play with Hidden Intent again as well. We've talked with those guys in the past, and
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
I seen that, dude.
yeah, there's been chatter about it, so that will happen at some point, I imagine.
Yeah, well, they just done that. They were just supporting Onslaught and that, and done a show down Adelaide, man. And fuck, I think I've seen them like more times than any band in Adelaide. They're just one of those hard working, and a lot of bands like that are in thrash metal, dude. I noticed they're just hard working, dude, out there playing like fucking so many shows through the year, traveling anywhere just to get the few
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
listeners and whatever.
yeah. It's a scene that like just begs to be in the back of a crappy van traveling around, isn't it? Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's that kind of music. So yeah, it's yeah, we're super excited about next year. We're going to be sort of really, really busy. We cannot wait to get over to Europe. Yeah, especially with those boys as well. That's going to be nuts.
Yeah, and then a promoter needs to pay to get you guys down under to do a run with Hidden Intent. That's for sure. Hear that, Chris?
Oh, we're gutted. Yeah,
Chris
wait, so,
Thrashy, get behind it, bro.
yeah, Southeast Asia and Australia on our bucket list. So I think Chris is probably coming over there soon with Gamma Bomb at some point.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate, take me with you. Yeah. So,
Yeah, come on, man. Cheers,
but
mate.
yeah,
Look, mate, this has been an absolute pleasure. We'll go through a few quick fire questions, mate. We'll do an outro and we'll get out of here, bro. First album you ever brought or can remember you brought?
it would have been something terrible. I've been like
Dude.
Green Day or something like that. I think
Yeah.
probably. Oh, it might have been a Beastie Boys
Dookie.
best of
Oh, that's not too bad, man.
anthology. Yeah, that one something like that. Like
Yeah.
mid 90s Green Day or Beastie Boys, I think. So
Yeah, that's it, mate. It all starts fucking somewhere, dude. First
yeah.
concert you ever attended.
Uh, the Deep Purple
Oh,
in
oh.
Ipswich. Yeah, it blew my mind. Yeah, 2001, I think. And then yeah, Corn shortly after that, and it was just awesome.
Actually, not the first person I've interviewed that's first concert was a Deep Purple one as well. Favorite album or a couple of your favorite albums so far, besides yours for
Uh,
the year?
for the year,
Yeah, it's
the new
been a good
Coroner
year.
record.
Yeah,
The new Coroner record is my number one at the minute. I'm loving the New Testament album as well. It's gotten me right back into him. In like I've never not liked him, but the new
yeah,
one's really sparked my interest in him again. So those two definitely on heavy rotation at the minute. Um, I'm gonna go with Coroner though.
yeah, dude. It's been a good fucking
Yeah.
year this year. One UK band the world needs to hear right now, besides Struck a Nerve.
Oof. Who am I going to say? Our pals in Devastator, who are also on Listenable, are amazing Black and Thrash, and Exorcism as well. Incredible thrash band. Really young dudes who are starting to make waves over here.
Awesome. Nathan, thank you so much for catching up, mate. Massive congrats to you and the whole Struck a Nerve crew, mate. The debut is an absolute weapon and a real statement for UK thrash. Everybody needs to get in their fucking ears, including the neighbours. For everyone watching, reading this, make sure you go. The self-titled album does drop November 28th through Listenable Records. Spin the singles, crank it loud for one of the most violent and vital new thrash albums of the decade. I'm Jai, that Aussie metal guy. Last words, shout outs, thank yous are all on you, Nathan.
I mean, just thanks for having us. It's been amazing to see something that started as kind of me and my mate messing around has turned into something like really special. So the feedback we had is amazing. So I really, really appreciate it. Obviously we're on social media, Struck a Nerve UK. Come check us out. Yeah, we just appreciate all the support. We can't wait to get touring and hopefully get over your way as soon as we can.
Damn straight. Cheers, mate.